The avoidant thought they could move on seamlessly. They convinced themselves that losing you was a minor setback, that the dating pool was full of people who could provide what you provided, that replacing you would be a simple matter of time and effort. They fumbled you through their patterns, let you slip away because they were too afraid to hold on, and assumed they would quickly find someone new who would make them forget. But the reality they are facing now is brutal and inescapable. Everyone else feels like a massive downgrade. Not just slightly less compatible, not just missing a few qualities you had, but fundamentally insufficient in ways that make continuing to search feel pointless. The comparison that destroys every new connection. Every person the avoidant meets is immediately measured against you, and every single one falls short. This person is physically attractive, but lacks your emotional depth. That person is successful, but does not understand them the way you did. Someone else is available, but does not create the specific feeling of safety you provided. The avoidant cannot stop comparing, cannot turn off the internal evaluation system that automatically ranks everyone against the standard you set. And the ranking is always the same. Not you, therefore not enough. This comparison is destroying their ability to build anything new, because they cannot be present with someone else when they are constantly thinking about how that person is not measuring up to what they lost. Everyone feels like a placeholder, a distraction, a poor substitute for the real thing they fumbled. They cannot replicate the chemistry. The avoidant tries desperately to recreate what they had with you. They pursue people with similar qualities, interests, backgrounds. They attempt to manufacture the same dynamic, the same banter, the same connection. But chemistry cannot be engineered or duplicated. What they had with you was specific alchemy between two particular individuals, and no amount of seeking similar traits in other people can reproduce it. Conversations feel forced, where they once flowed effortlessly. Silence feels uncomfortable, where it once felt natural. Physical intimacy feels mechanical, where it once felt electric. The avoidant is learning the painful lesson that connection is not about checking boxes of compatible characteristics, but about the mysterious, irreplaceable spark that happens between specific people. And that spark does not exist with anyone else. Everyone highlights what is missing. The avoidant thought they would find someone better, or at least equivalent. Instead, every new person highlights a different aspect of what you provided that they are now realizing was rare and valuable. This person does not laugh at their humor the way you did. That person does not challenge them intellectually like you did. Someone else does not provide the specific balance of independence and intimacy that made them feel safe with you. Each new connection is a catalog of absences, a list of ways they fall short of you. The avoidant is being forced to confront that you were not just one thing they valued, but a complete package of qualities that work together in ways they completely took for granted. Everyone feels like an incomplete version of what they had, and incomplete is not enough. They realize you tolerated what others will not. Part of what makes everyone else feel inadequate is that the avoidant is discovering most people will not accept their patterns the way you did. You understood their need for space and respected it without making them feel guilty. You recognized their fear and did not punish them for it. You maintained your boundaries while also being patient with their inconsistency. But new people do not have this framework of understanding. They react to the avoidance distance with immediate withdrawal or demands for change. They interpret patterns as disinterest and leave before the avoidant can explain. The avoidant is realizing that what they mistook for weakness in you, your willingness to understand and accommodate their attachment style, was actually extraordinary patience and emotional maturity that is incredibly rare. Everyone else feels inadequate, partly because they will not tolerate what you tolerated, and the avoidant knows they cannot be their authentic avoidant self with anyone else without being immediately rejected. The regret poisons every possibility. The avoidant fumbled you and now carries a regret so heavy that it prevents them from genuinely engaging with anyone new. They meet someone promising and sabotage it because they are thinking about you. They avoid getting close because closeness means admitting you are not coming back. They remain in surface-level connections because going deeper with anyone else feels like betraying the connection they destroyed with you. Everyone feels inadequate, not just because of who they are, but because the avoidant cannot stop grieving what they lost. The fumble was not just losing a person. It was losing the best chance they had at the relationship they claimed not to want, but desperately needed. And knowing they destroyed it themselves through fear, rather than losing it to circumstances, makes the regret unbearable and the comparison to everyone else inevitable and devastating. The permanent standard you set. The avoidant fumbled you, and you have become the permanent benchmark against which every future person will be measured. Not because you were perfect, but because you were perfectly suited to their specific dysfunction in ways no one else can be. Everyone else feels like a downgrade because the avoidant is finally understanding that what you offered was not common, not easily found, not replaceable, and that understanding has arrived. Too late to matter, too late to bring you back, too late to do anything except haunt every future interaction with the knowledge that they had it, they fumbled it, and they will spend the rest of their life encountering people who feel like lesser versions of what they were too afraid to keep.